Hey folks, welcome to Economic Observation. It is December 30th, and my oh my, with just a little over 24 hours left of 2021, there is so much to look back on. What a year. For me, it was the first full year, 2021, in 14 years that I have not traveled to Tanzania. That was quite the year for me. The year started with so much euphoria and hope that the pandemic would finally be behind us. And yet here we are, 364 days later, and it seems like we are no further from that than we were 2 years ago. Unbelievable. We have seen severe extreme weather all around the world, from droughts to too much rain, to wildfires, tornadoes. It has been a year of soaring stock market and crypto markets. It's also been a year of soaring prices and high inflation. Workers quitting their job, unknown to where they are right now. We've had highs and we've had lows. Earlier this year, we saw the economy come rushing back. Without the fear of the pandemic and hopefully it being a footnote behind us, people were out there traveling, spending, and what a relief to see Broadway open again. But that was all short-lived. And today, as the Omicron variant of COVID-19 is spreading in every city across the United States at the same time, no other variant has done that before. It is soaring across every city, just about all around the world. People are scared again, or I shouldn't say scared again, but many people have changed their behaviors. You see, you can keep all the cities around the world open, but when you limit Times Square New Year's Eve drop from 1 million people to 15,000, and you say you don't want the economy of New York City to falter, and people know that it's being limited for a reason, their behaviors are going to change. I was listening to a podcast today about a restaurant in London. Their busiest day of the year is Boxing Day, a day where they are sold out and reservations are booked months in advance. The owner of the restaurant said that every reservation was canceled. This is happening in cities all across the world. And as we start 2022, what is in store for these small businesses? How can they survive a social lockdown? It's a behavioral lockdown. And sure, the governments might say they're not locking down again, but people's behavior is changing. I was talking to one of our painters in Tanzania today. He said their big hope for the Christmas season was dashed. Safari drivers and companies all across Africa seen record numbers of cancellations again. Their livelihood has been on pause for 3 years. Thankfully, we sell their art, and we've been able to sustain about 5 of them and their families. But it is unheard of. One of the questions he asked me is, when is this going to end? And I couldn't answer him. Another thing, CDC came out today and gave cruise lines a level 4 advisory. Do not go. Do not step foot on a boat. They're not shutting the cruise industry down. But what are they saying to the people that wanted to go on a cruise? Do not go. This restaurant in London and restaurants all across the world and in the United States and cruise lines and airlines that are canceling flights, they're going to need some kind of financial fiscal stimulus again. That's what they were calling for on this podcast I listened to. They said they're going to need help. Or are we going to see businesses faltering? Are we going to see a catastrophe like we've never seen before? Are we going to see hundreds or thousands of small businesses closing? Airlines defaulting? Cruise ships unable to pay back any of their loans or sustain everything, and then people will lose their jobs again? This is where we're at. I never thought we would be here right now. But behaviors are changing. And maybe we'll have to wait and see a couple of months when the wave gets to the bottom again and we can see the light before the next variant comes. People will start living again. But planning ahead is really hard. 2022 is so uncertain. As uncertain as 2021 was. And all of our hopes and dreams were dashed. It's been really strange. Is inflation here to stay? The government seems to have ditched transitory, but I'm still on team transitory. And I'll tell you why. Because when people don't spend money on experiences or social events, going out to dinner, going to the movies, going to theaters, going on vacations, well, they buy goods. And goods need to be transported. And they need labor to do that, and trucks. And we didn't have enough of it because the demand was so high. I think that will level off once this is behind us. If this is behind us. So my hope for 2022 is that things level off. That everything goes back to some kind of normalcy. But with that normalcy, inflation coming down will bring a lot of things down with it. I hope it doesn't hit everyone too badly. But it's still very uncertain. I can give a list of predictions, but we'll save that for another day. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. Be kind. Call someone, tell them you love them. And we'll talk again real soon. Thanks for watching.